Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Minnesota.
The Twins go for the sweep of the Texas Rangers this afternoon at Target Field after Minnesota lost 6 of 7 on their recent road trip. They've won the first 2 of this series, and now Ervin Santana will try to beat Chichi Gonzalez in the series finale and give Minnesota their first series sweep since early July. Welcome to Target Field with Jack Morris. I'm Anthony LaPanta. When Minnesota struggled on the road trip, a big part of it was their starting pitching. The last time through the rotation, an ERA over 20, an opposing batting average of over 500. But in the first 2 games of this series, it's been a different story. Gibson and Pelfrey have each given the Twins a chance to win.
Kyle Gibson started the game a little rough. He gave up a home run, but after that, he settled in. And we're going to see some of the pitches that Kyle was able to throw. His sinker got better. His fastball command got better. When he's ahead in the count, then he's able to expand the strike zone a little bit. All those things are what you want out of the pitcher. Attack, attack, attack. Trust your stuff. Mike Pelfrey, who's been a guy that's really nibbled a lot out of the zone, came out and threw fastballs early. He threw that 95-mile-an-hour fastball. It had great tail, good run, and then he was able to do the same thing. Use his secondary pitches after that. He was very, very good last night because he was more aggressive within the strike zone early in the game.
Combined for a 2.08 ERA. Now Ervin Santana trying to bounce back from a very short start against the Indians.
Well, like both Gibson and Pelfrey, he needs to go ahead and attack the zone, get ahead of guys. He's got the great put-away pitch in his slider, but he needs to throw more strikes early in counts. That might bode well for him today also.
Santana and the Twins go for the sweep today. Up next, a look at the outfield of dreams, a glimpse into the future for Minnesota.
Fox Sports North is presented by Luther Nissan Kia. 2 locations, 1 very low price. By Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by Jeep. Find your summer of adventure with great deals at the Jeep Summer Clearance event. Having already won the series this afternoon at Target Field, the Twins will go for a 3-game sweep. It's been a good 2 nights for the Twins as they picked up some ground in the American League wild card standings, brought to you by DirecTV. And the Twins, with a good homestand here, could find themselves in much better shape here in just a few days. Good afternoon to you from Target Field. Dick Bramer along with Bert Blyleven. The Twins last night won handily with 6 runs batted in, driven in by Miguel Sano.
Well, it really started a couple nights ago for Sano. Remember when the Twins came back and beat the Rangers 3-2 in the 8th inning with Sano with that double that scored power, and that tied the game, and then Escobar's base hit. But last night, a career night for Sano. First time he's had 2 home runs in a ball game in his young career. 5 for 6 so far in the first 2 ball games, and most importantly, he has driven in 7 runs.
A year ago in the middle of August, the Twins typically had an outfield of Jordan Schaefer in left, Danny Santana in center, Oswaldo Arcia in right. And what we've seen this year is a complete makeover in the outfield.
I think we have to be looking at the future. Well, Aaron Hicks showed some of that last night. We has really shown that over the last month and a half. He's swinging a hot bat. Last night, second time he's had 4 hits in a ball game, not only offensively. Remember the great catch he made out in left center. Eddie Rosario, a couple hits in last night's ball game. You know, he got called up in early May. He has shown that he's not intimidated by big league pitching. Not only hitting, but also showing off a great arm in last night's ball game, cutting out Chu at home plate to end the inning. And remember, Byron Buxton, he's in the wings. He was up for a little bit, didn't fare too well, got hurt. Well, he did AAA over the last couple ball games. He's swinging a hot bat.
4 hits last night and a few more of those, and he'll be up here as well. The Twins hope to get a little traction in the wild card race with a sweep over the Rangers coming up next.
like it. I feel electric.
You do?
Yes.
Batteries not included. And Irvin Santana going to the ballpark, or going to the mound to hopefully get the Twins a good start tonight and help them complete a 3-game sweep over the Rangers. And Jeff Bannister in his first year has done a great job. Not much was expected of the Ranger club, especially given the fact that they had so many injuries to the pitching staff early, but they're in essentially the same spot the Twins are, a wild card challenger. Here's the Menards batting order for Texas. Delino DeShields leading off. Shin-Soo Choo batting second. Prince Fielder, Adrian Beltre, Mitch Moreland, Elvis Andrus, Rougned Odor, Chris Jimenez, and Ryan Strasburger.
And Irvin Santana on the mound. Remember, he spent the last 80 or first 80 games of the season on the list of because of PED's performance, and activated on July 4th, making his 8th start, looking for his 3rd win. Last three starts have not been consistent, but he's been through this before. The veteran hopefully can pitch well here this afternoon against a club he knows a lot about.
Northland Ford defense. Torrey Hunter getting the day off. Rosario moves to right. Robinson to left. Sano, Escobar, Dozier, Plouffe infield, and Chris Herman behind the plate. DeShields leading off. Choo and Fielder will follow, and there's a pitch outside, ball 1. As Kyle Gibson and Mike Pelfrey have already done, Irvin Santana hoping to put his last start very quickly in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, it's really his last 3 starts, and a big thing, 14 innings over his last 3 starts, 24 hits allowed, 9 walks. So, you know, the hits are going to come, but don't walk anybody. And Santana is usually very good control, just too many walks.
Foul back 1 and 2.
You know, he's not overpowering. He has to hit his spots, and you know, he's a fastball pitcher that relies on that good movement. Been a nasty slider. That's his strikeout pitch. Over his career, he's had over 1,500 strikeouts, averaging about 7 strikeouts per 9 innings.
Ooh, that awful sound.
Good way to start the afternoon. Right into the kitchen.
1 down. DeShields retired.
Listen to this great sound.
It just makes me nauseous.
Oh, you gotta love it.
The hundreds of hours of craftsmanship to make that bat.
Sorry.
They'll make more, won't they?
Yes, they will.
Shin-Soo Choo with 1 down. I think everyone would agree this is a fair ballpark, but if anything, more of a pitcher's ballpark than a hitter's ballpark, and yet Santana's had 2 clunkers, stinkers, 2 really bad starts here as a Twin.
Yeah, he's given up 5 home runs in his other 2 starts here.
To the left field corner where Robinson waits, 2 down.
And that's where you don't want him to hit it, is down the lines. You know, the ball carries pretty good to right and left field. If you can make him hit it to right center, straightaway center, that's almost Death Valley at 411 straight away, and then over to right center. But Santana, over his career, he's given up a lot of home runs. So that's part of his game. 253 career home runs he's given up, and this is his 304th start.
Just out of curiosity, how many home runs did you give up?
I gave up only 430.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would have guessed.
I would have a lot.
I would have guessed many more. You gave up 96 in 2 years.
I think well, you know, that happens.
96
in 2
years.
I won 32 games.
Outside 2-0.
See, I had Herbeck, Puckett, Gaetti, Bernansky, Roy Smalley, some guys in a lineup that kind of protected those solo home runs I gave up.
2-0 to Fielder.
But it is. It's part of Santana's game, you know, and Jack said it in the pregame. Santana's got to establish his fastball. He's got to go right at this offense, an offense that he has had faced a lot of times. This is his 30th career start against the Texas Ranger organization.
2-1 to Fielder. And now 3-1 with Beltre on deck.
Santana has 7 career shutouts, 2 of them against the Rangers. Prince Fielder having a great year.
Keeping his average at 327. Kipnis keeping his at 326 because he's on the disabled list. And now Fielder will take a walk, and Herman didn't catch the pitch, and it smoked Tom Hallion. Ouch. Tom Hallion asking Chris Herman, what's up with that? You didn't even get glove on it. Got him right in the toe.
Ball had a little sail on it right there. Bob Feller used to always say that was the old Navy pitch, the old sailor.
Well, Herman's going to spend about 3 hours behind the plate with Tom Hallion
apologizing. Hopefully it's not 3 hours.
Here's Beltre, runner at first and 2 away. Beltre has excelled defensively in the series, hasn't done much offensively.
Yeah, these two guys have faced each other a lot. 58 at bats against Santana. Beltre 13 hits, just a .228 batting average, but he has hit 5 home runs against Santana.
Up and in, 1-1. Santana trying to put a 0 up on the board. Inside again, 2-1.
Well, you repeat inside a couple good fastballs to Beltre, but now you have to be able to hit that spot down and away.
14 pitches, just 7 strikes for Santana.
And I'm guessing Herman is going to be sitting down and away right there. There he is. Now you have to hit the spot.
Whoa.
Santana going right after him with that high fastball. Beltre swinging at maybe ball 3.
And almost swinging out of his shoes.
Yeah, well, he's guessing fastball right here, but you can see he wants that ball down. It was elevated, and he tried to go up and hammer it.
2-2 to Beltre. Popped up right field. And Rosario started back, now comes in. And it is a scoreless first for Ervin Santana. The Twins hoping to strike early as they did last night. Paul Molitor feeling a whole lot better about things than a couple of days ago when the Twins limped home, figuratively if not literally, from a terrible road trip. The Menards batting order for the final game with Texas. Hicks, Dozier, and Bauer. Sano at third base batting cleanup. Bluth, Rosario, Escobar, Herman, and Robinson.
And they'll be facing 23-year-old Chichi Gonzalez, making just his 8th major league start, just getting recalled here last night to pitch in this ball game. He was down in AAA. He did start the season in AAA, got called up in May 30th and pitched the first 4 games at the major league level very good. His last 3 not so good, and that's why he got sent out.
Aaron Hicks will lead things off. He led off the ball game last night with his first ever leadoff home run, but then he went on to pick up 3 more hits. And Hicks enters this game hitting .292. First pitch rolled on the ground to the shortstop Andrus. And Hicks is quickly retired.
Yeah, that home run that Hicks led off the ball game last night, his first career lead off the game, a home run. So he's got that going for him.
Northland Ford defense for Texas. Josh Hamilton out again today. Ryan Strasburger in left. Delano DeShields in center. Shinsu Chu in right. Beltre and Andres very good left side of the infield. Odor, Moreland on the right side. Chris Jimenez behind the plate. And now Dozier. It's not Brian's history to take pitches, but he'll take strike one here after Hicks was retired on the first pitch.
Got a report on Gonzalez, a fastball in the low 90s. Good slider. He's been working on a curveball.
1-1.
Former #1 pick by the Rangers in 2013. Only his third year of professional baseball. Out of Oral Roberts University out of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
And an easy play for Beltre. 2 hops. Throw sailed on him a little bit. 2 down.
And in his first 7 starts for Gonzalez, he's done a great job against right-handed hitters. Right-handers hitting only 181, left-handers hitting 263.
So it's National Left-Handers Day today. So it stands to reason that a left-hander, maybe Bauer, will have a good day. Joe hitting at 268. Drove in a couple of runs last night. And he takes up and away, ball 1. Now I'm assuming there is a National Right-Handers Day. I'm right-handed, and if I'm going to acknowledge the left-handers in my life, and there are plenty of them, I can tell you, there'll be something coming back to me on Right-Handers Day, don't you think?
You would think so, yeah. I'm a right-hander, but a lot of people throughout my career said that I thought as a left-hander.
I can
so
see
I
that.
could kind of be both ways.
I can see that. 1-1 to Bauer. Now, I don't know. Can you go to a drugstore and get a card for National Left-Handers Day? Is there a special section of the card section for left-handed cards?
Yeah, that's a good question.
And then you'd probably have to open them up the other way, right?
Yeah. No, left. Not right, left.
3-1 to Bauer. Sano on deck.
Well, one thing that Gonzalez has had trouble with up here in 7 starts, 19 walks. Only 15 strikeouts. Came in with 43 1/3 innings pitched.
Bauer takes a strike to fill the count.
Went to the slider right there.
Full count to Bauer with 2 down. And a strikeout. And Chichi Gonzalez has a 1-2-3 first inning.
He's not related to Chichi Rodriguez, is he?
his first time catching Ervin Santana. I talked to him this morning about that dynamic. He said there's no doubt. Challenges here this afternoon for certain. We broke down film, take a look at the Rangers. We get a game plan. We like to talk about the pitches he wants to use. He's kind of the quarterback today. Chris Herman acknowledged he's going to kind of follow the lead of Ervin Santana guys, but he said it's probably going to take at least 4 or 5 innings before he feels anywhere near comfortable back there behind the plate. It's the first time they've been together. There's that chemistry you try to develop, and we saw it already in that first inning. You guys mentioned the whipped pitch that hit the umpire. This is going to be a process today, and if Ervin Santana can get off to a good start, certainly that would bode well for building that chemistry on the positive side of the ledger.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. You know, a lot of times throughout my career, you throw to a catcher for the first time. It's important not only to have their relationship on the mound and Herman behind the plate, but between innings. I wanted that catcher to sit next to me so we would go over the previous inning and then look forward to the next inning. And you have to have that communication not only here by hand signals, but also in the dugout. Very important.
1-1 to Moreland. Moreland's first pitch fouled into the mask of Herman, and Tom Hallion engaging Herman a little bit, making sure that he's okay. There's a ball lined, and it skips off of or through the glove of Escobar into center field for a leadoff hit.
First hit of the ball game goes to Mitch Moreland.
And the leadoff man is on for Elvis Andrus.
Yeah, Moreland picking up his first hit in this 3-game series. You saw that ball come up on Escobar and just tip off the top of his glove into center field.
Rangers have been held to 3 runs scored in the first 2 games of the series, 2 of them on a home run by Andrus 2 nights ago. And he takes up high.
Yeah, and they came into this 3-game series since the All-Star break hitting .287 as a ball club and averaging almost 6 runs per game, about 5.6 runs per game. So Gibson and Pelfrey and the bullpen has done a good job so far.
Foul back. You know what we've said regularly through this season, and there are exceptions. Right now Toronto's playing very good baseball. Kansas City's been the most consistent good team all year long, but for everybody else there are a lot of ebbs and flows within the season, and what we've seen in this Twins season is, you know, when it flows pretty good, but boy, when it ebbs, it's been hard to watch. And the Twins with that awful first week and now this terrible road trip that they had. But then you step back and look at, okay, who did they play poorly against? A Toronto team that is already in front 4-0 this afternoon, on their way perhaps to their 11th straight win. And that gets Tom Hallion as another one gets by Herman. And the home plate umpire has had a terrible first couple innings here.
I don't know if the Herman was crossed up or what, but
Moreland off with the pitch, and he'll go to second base. Andrus squared to bunt.
Right. Watch the pitch right here.
Oh.
Herman didn't get a glove on it. Hits off the mask of Hallion, a 23-year veteran. If he can't pick up the baseball, or maybe he was crossed up. And hopefully Tom Hallion, the crew chief here, is okay. Wild pitch will be charged.
Taking one off the right big toe, and we saw, I think, Tom Hallion do this to Chris Herman just a few moments ago on the foul tip. You know, there's so much more awareness of concussion symptoms, and that's the concern for Hallion here. But I'd be surprised if we asked Chris Herman whether Hallion didn't want to make sure that Herman was okay on the Moreland foul ball. Let's have another look and listen to this pitch that got by Herman. You might have heard a little bit of a tick off of Herman's glove, but that one right in the mask of the home plate umpire. The count's 2-1 with a runner at second and nobody out.
See if Andrus tries to bunt again here. No, he's swinging away.
Pushes it to the right side, and Moreland does not try to advance. And typically on any ball hit to the right side, The runner from second will try to advance to third, but Moreland did not.
You know, Moreland not the quickest of foot, so I think he did the right thing right here because it was kind of an inside out swing, and you know the ball ended up hitting the turf on the air. Watch where it hits, and Dozier. Yeah, you can see it. It's kind of, you don't know if that ball is going to, you know, be caught by Dozier. So I think Moreland did the right thing in staying there.
Rougned Odor with Moreland still at second and one down. The ball had enough flight time to cause Moreland to make sure it got through the infield, and by then it was too late. Down and in, ball one.
Odor, only 21 years old, from Venezuela. He's in his second season with the Rangers, getting an opportunity to play every day now at second base. Started the season at second base and spent about a month down in AAA and then recalled back on June 15th.
1-1 to Odor.
Made a lot of errors early at second, but they say since his return, swinging a good bat and also playing very good defense. Hit a couple balls last night right on the button. One that Rosario made a great catch in left field, came running in on, and then a line drive to Nunez at short.
Bobbled. Dozier with time to recover and get the out. 2 down, and Moreland on that ground ball does advance to
I think
third.
that ball got a piece of Brian's right finger. Watch this ball come up, and watch Brian right here keep that right hand near the glove. Yeah, kind of trying to time it, but got that hand in there a little too quick. But able to rebound and barehand it and flip it over to Dozier. Excuse me, Plouffe over at first.
2 down, and now Chris Jimenez. Jimenez has been a pleasant surprise with those numbers. Journeyman backup catcher, but he's been able to get some regular playing time because of some injuries. Jimenez not expected to do much offensively, but pretty good numbers so far.
Yeah, you know what, we saw Jimenez with the Indians, not only a catcher, we saw him at first, he'll play some third, kind of a utility, almost what Chris Herman was asked to do in spring training, play a lot of different positions. But Jimenez, 32 years old, a journeyman minor league catcher, getting an opportunity is with the Indians, the Marlins, the Rays, now in his second stint with the Rangers.
Runner at third, 2 down.
Career .210 hitter coming into this year.
All the way 1-2.
You know, we saw Bobby Wilson last night, almost another journeyman catcher. And a lot of these guys can stick around a long time if they are good receivers and just give me a little offense here or there.
Drew Butera comes to mind.
Right.
Pat Borders briefly with the Twins. Henry Blanco. 1-2 to Jimenez. And that's a bouncer to third, backhanded by Sano, sets and fires to retire the side. Leadoff single is left at third base, and Miguel Sano will lead things off for the Twins in the bottom of the second. Rookies, both of whom have had an impact in the Twins lineup, particularly last night. Sano.
Yeah, what a night for Sano. 6 runs batted in thanks to a 2-run home run and then a 3-run home run for Sano. In the Twins' 11-1 win. And Sano has enjoyed hitting here at Target Field. 6 of his 7 home runs have been hit here at Target Field, and all 7 home runs have been off of right-handed pitchers.
And Sano leads off the second. First pitch up and in, ball 1. Now neither Sano nor Rosario will be the American League Rookie of the Year. I'm guessing that will go to Carlos Correa, even though he's only going to end up with about 4 months in the big leagues in his rookie season. But Correa hitting .282, 14 home runs, 37 runs batted in.
Yeah, the shortstop for the Astros has played outstanding.
And now 2-1. And while it's nice to have a Rookie of the Year, and the Twins have been blessed to have had 5 of them, when you look at these 2 players, Rosario and Sano, you're talking about major impact players for years to come. And it's odd that you would have 2 of them in 1 year. Fouled back. And a nice catch. 2-2. I mean, you're looking at 2 middle of the lineup rookies this year who both done very, very well. And, called third strike. Hallion taking one in the mask, but it hasn't impacted his called third strike.
It looked like a pretty nasty slider right there that Sano kind of looked at and took, and Tom Hallion says it got plenty of the plate. Take a look right here. Track says it was a bit outside.
1 down, that'll bring up Blue.
Second strikeout for Gonzalez. Blue for a couple of hits in last night's ball game.
A deep drive to left field. Strasburger back. It is gone into the second deck.
Home run number 16 for Trevor Plouffe. And he, like a lot of the Twin batters, have enjoyed hitting home runs here at Target Field. 12 of his 16 home runs. Excuse me, 11 of his 16 home runs hit here. Fastball in. Trevor, uppercut swing. 1-0 Twins lead.
Well, the first couple years in this ballpark, the Twins had a hard time finding right-handed batters who could hit it into the first deck in left field. They bypassed the first deck. Now we got Plouffe and Sano and guys like that hitting him into the second and third deck. Dozier.
The cement has dried.
A liner over the reach of Odor, and Rosario has a single to right. Well, I have no idea why it would be, but I have no doubt in my mind that the ball is carrying much better. Now, this is a day game today, so we'll acknowledge that off the top, but there's no question that the ball is carrying better in this ballpark than it did in the first 2 years.
I agree. Odor leaping as high as he can, and Rosario continues to pick up hits.
Eduardo Escobar will bat. A walk-off hero 2 nights ago. Didn't play in last night's game, and he takes up and away, ball 1.
Escobar, a switch hitter, hitting .265 as a left-handed hitter. 2 home runs from this side of the plate.
And a strike over the inside corner.
Chichi Gonzalez, I mentioned, 23 years old. His real first name is Alexander. He was given Chichi by a great uncle. Dropped the Chichi on him. Must have been a golf fan.
Family from Cuba a generation ago. The ball again just out of the reach of Odor. Rosario around second. He'll gain third base. Big turn at first, and now Escobar's hung out to dry. Rosario leading off at third. Couple of looks toward him, and now Escobar in a prolonged rundown. Here comes Rosario, and he is safe. He slipped the tag of Jimenez.
What a great slide by Rosario, and a good little pickle we had going between first and second with Escobar.
Rangers waiting to possibly challenge this. No, that was a fan tag right there.
It was.
And Jimenez knew it. You could see the way he reacted, that he lunged after the runner. So the Rangers won't challenge this unless they challenge him sliding out of the base path. And you can see Rosario sliding into the catcher's box, not through the batter's box. Mike Maddox, I think the pitching coach, is suggesting that to Tom Hallion right now.
Boy, I don't know. He didn't really run to get out of the way. He just slid around the potential tag.
But as you do to second base or any other base,
right,
if you slide, you have to be sliding in a vicinity so you can touch the base.
Well, watch Rosario now. He knows that the play's coming to Jimenez. The ball is right there. That's a tough call right there. I think Rosario is in his right to slide where he did to try to miss the tag, and he did.
And then you saw Jimenez with his left foot take away the sliding lane, which you can do once you have possession of the ball. At any rate, the run counts. Escobar ends up at second. And credit Escobar. Here's a ball hit to left center field. That's down for a hit. Escobar will score. Herman runs to second, and it's 3-0. A home run, a single, now a double, and the Twins have jumped on Gonzalez.
Well, Chris Herman gets that first pitch and hits it the other way for his fourth double of the year, driving in his ninth run. And Twins, like last night, putting some crooked numbers up early. That sinker didn't sink very much, and Herman slashed it the other way. Escobar scores the third run of the inning. The Twins take an early 3-0 lead.
And we can compliment Rosario for his slide and scoring the run, but he wouldn't have had that opportunity if Escobar hadn't been able to stay in the rundown long enough to force a couple of throws and give Rosario an opportunity to scamper home.
You ever do that as a kid? Play pickle with your friends? You know, you have, just
we
like
called
that.
it hot box. Yeah.
Called it a pickle. You're in a pickle.
Here's Robinson. He's trying to drop an ambush on Chichi Gonzalez here in the second inning. Up and in, ball one.
Now, Gonzalez made his major league debut in late May in Arlington against the Boston Red Sox. He won the ball game 8-0, 5 2/3 shutout inning of baseball. And then in his second major league start, he shut out the Kansas City Royals in KC. A 3-hit shutout, beat the Royals 4-0, and then had a couple more good outings. They thought, oh boy, this #1 draft pick's going to really pan out for us this year. And then he had 3 miserable starts, found himself back in AAA, and then getting recalled here for this afternoon game.
That's to left center field, and that's down for a hit. Herman will score. Robinson trades places with him at second base.
Back-to-back doubles, puts 4 on the board here in the second inning. So Shane Robinson doing almost and hitting the ball almost the same place that Chris Herman did, driving in his 14th run on his 6th double. So another pitch kind of left up, about thigh high. Robinson opening up quickly and finding that gap in left center.
Quick start for the Twins here in the second inning after Sano's strikeout on a pitch that Fox Track showed was off the plate. 5 straight hits, 4 runs, and here's Hicks. Hicks grounded out on the first pitch he saw in the first inning. Hicks, somebody who likes to see a lot of pitches. That was very uncharacteristic for Aaron. And now he takes ball 1. One and 0 to Hicks. Tapper, right side. And Gonzalez to the bag. Robinson to third base, 2 away.
Well, let's go back to Escobar's pickle that he got in after he singled.
It's a hot box.
Talk all you want. I'm calling it a pickle right here. Just over the head of Odor. Now watch the throw come in. Chu hitting Andrus, and then here's the pickle right here. Escobar does a great job, but really the Rangers didn't close in enough and get Escobar. Finally Moreland throws the ball to Jimenez, and Rosario made a great slide around home plate.
Did a great job scoring a run out of that hot box.
Pickle.
Here's Dozier. You know, so many things come into play too. Moreland's a left-handed first baseman, so as he's running towards second base, there's that split second where he's got to stop what he's doing, square his shoulders to the plate, and make the throw. And all of that contributed to the Twins getting a run.
You know what? He made a great throw. I mean, Jimenez got the ball in plenty of time. Just credit to Rosario by going around the tag and scoring.
1 strike to Dozier. And now inside, nearly got him in the arm. A good inning for the Twins, and they had a number of multi-run innings in the game last night. And an early 4 spot with a runner at third and 2 down. It's blocked by Jimenez.
Gonzalez's last start came on July 3rd for the Rangers when he faced the Angels in Arlington, and he worked only an inning and 2/3, gave up 6 runs, all earned on 5 hits.
We've seen it happen from the other side many times, haven't we? A young, inexperienced pitcher, and things start going south, and they're incapable at this point in their careers. Incapable of keeping a big number from going up on the board.
You know what? You tighten up a little bit. Now all of a sudden, you know, you're giving up hits and you're trying to make that perfect pitch, and pretty soon you're getting in counts like this, 3-1. Now you have to come in with a pitch, and let's see what Brian Dozier can do with this 3-1 pitch with 2 outs.
And Dozier takes a walk, and that'll bring Mauer to the plate.
The 9th batter to hit for the Twins this inning.
Mauer struck out swinging to end the first inning. First 4 batters were retired by Gonzalez, and only 1 man since.
This will be the 23rd pitch of the inning for Gonzalez.
And Jimenez digs another one out of the dirt. No activity in the Texas pen. He had a short start last night.
Nick Martinez, who started in last night's ball game, ended up getting optioned out here today to open up a spot for Gonzalez to make this start.
1-0 to Mauer. 2-0.
Remember, it was Anthony Bass who came in relief in the 4th inning, ended up working 3 innings, but threw 70 pitches, and he was kind of left out there for a while.
The 2-0 pitch to Mauer. To the inside corner.
It's kind of been an issue for the Rangers throughout the summer. Their starting staff very inconsistent. Their whole staff 4.51 combined earned run average. Only the Boston Red Sox have a higher team ERA.
Three and one. Sano, who struck out to start the inning in the on deck circle. Ball four, and Maurer will go to first, Dozier to second, and here comes Sano with the bases juiced.
Back-to-back walks sets up Sano. And Jimenez going out and talking to Gonzalez. And still no action in the bullpen. A quick trip to the mound by the catcher.
Sano struck out on a pitch that appeared to be down and away to start the inning. Then the Twins went homer, single, single, double, double. A couple of walks have been mixed in, and the Twins, who've already scored 4, have a chance to bust it wide open with a guy who last night drove in 6 runs. So you have to ask yourself now, does Gonzalez have enough stuff to get Miguel Sano out twice in 1 inning?
I remember the strike 3 pitch we showed back was off the plate. That was a slider, and he started him off with a slider right there. Fell behind.
Towering fly to right.
Just got underneath that slider.
Chu comes in. The Twins score 4, leave 3. And they jump out in front. Eddie Rosario with a Randy Bush type of slide from the '87 World Series.
Yeah, well called.
To you by Clean, Crisp, Coors Light. I think you were a part of this, weren't you? In 1977, the Rangers had 3 different managers and 3 different days. Frank Lucchese, Eddie Stanky, and Connie Ryan.
Yeah, I was here. Eddie Stanky, actually, that happened here in Minnesota. I pitched that ball game that Eddie Stanky was the one-day manager, and he left. He left us. Just that
you got one look at you,
and he said, "I'm out of here." And then Connie Ryan took over, and I believe then Billy Hunter later became the manager.
And the
another one.
The Lucchese thing, what happened there?
Well, that was He just got fired. He, he had the Lenny Randall situation, and it just didn't work out.
Right, they had a brawl in the dugout, but
Right.
how far in advance of him leaving the team was the fight in the dugout?
Oh, that happened in spring training.
Oh, it did?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that was actually at Tinker Field when the Texas Rangers were playing the Twins in spring training.
The Twins brought out the worst in you guys. Strike on the outside corner, 2-1 to Strasburg. Well, that had to be strange. 3 different managers.
Yep. I think Pat Corrales was in there for a while too. We had like 5 managers or a couple, interim managers.
That would strongly suggest you guys weren't very good.
Well, we had a very good year in '77.
Well, what happened?
Well, we couldn't find the right guy to lead us.
Eddie Stanky was a lifetime baseball guy, and he
Right.
took one look at you guys and said,
Right.
I want no part of it.
He came out to the mound. I asked him what the heck he's doing here, and he walked back with his head down. I don't know if that was a deciding factor
You
or not.
drove the man into retirement
Yeah,
with a
just like
rude
that.
welcome out on the mound.
What do you know about pitching? Get out of here, knucklehead.
No wonder he left. 2-2 to Strasburg. Foul back to the screen. We want to thank, I think thanks are due to the folks with the Twins and Fox Sports North for adding this telecast to the schedule. If you're enjoying this at all, and we trust that you are, or you find something better to do, Twins are leading 4-0, but this was an add-on a couple of weeks ago, and from here on out, every game the Twins play will be televised. 2-2. Santana handed an early 4-0 lead. Dropped by Sano. He picks it up, and with that arm, he throws him out. All the talk about Sano being too big to play third base, and the Twins have resolutely said this guy's got a great arm, and we've already seen it in evidence.
Well, he got his body in front of it, knocked it down right here. Watch this ball come up a little bit on him, and he picks it up by the bare hand. Get that glove out of the way, and then a good throw over to Plouffe. So Santana picking up some ground ball outs. Already 5 ground ball outs the first 9 batters he's faced.
1 down.
And this is always a big inning right here. Your club puts some crooked number on the board. You want to go out and get them back in the dugout as quick as possible.
Check swing, 1 hopper back to the mound, 2 down. At a time when the Twins are trying to stabilize their rotation, some unstabling news. Sanford Health Injury Report. Phil Hughes has had some sore back issues, lower back, and he will be put on the 15-day disabled list to allow Tyler Duffy to be activated. And Hughes will miss a couple of starts. Duffy will get 1 start. Trevor May is going to start tomorrow's game in Hughes' absence. And Trevor May, of course, not expected to pitch too deep into the ball game tomorrow, but he'll be given presumably at least 2 starts.
Yeah, Phil Hughes has had a history when he was with the Yankees with back issues, and luckily it didn't flare up last year, and it's in 23 starts so far this year. Phil Hughes, he had that tough outing in Cleveland where he gave up 7 runs in 3 innings in that 8-1 loss.
1-1, and now 2-1. Santana getting a lot of ground ball out, 6 of them already in the game. Struggled with his control early, but now his strike percentage improving. And now 2-2.
Yeah, no strikeouts yet for Santana. The 1 walk, only 1 hit allowed. That was Moreland leading off last inning.
Santana looking in. Sano moving to the right side of the infield, and the ball bounced foul. If the Twins win the game, and the Angels are opening a series tonight in Kansas City, if Kansas City wins that game, the Twins will be just 1 game out of a playoff spot in the wild card standings.
We were talking about that earlier. Here we are on August 13th. I want to still talk about what we're talking about right now on September 13th, a month from now, where that wild card situation, because the Royals are having a fantastic year. Don't know if they're going to fall back enough to allow anybody to catch them in our division. But that wild card is an opportunity.
3-2 to Chu. And a walk will put him aboard with 2 down.
Second walk for Santana.
Twins started this homestand with a terrible road trip behind them, but they've done well winning the first 2 games. Twins still lost 12 of the last 17. They opened that road trip in the wild card lead in one of the 2 spots, but they have not disappeared, to be sure. And if they can have a good finish to this series and a good series with the Indians, they could have regained everything that they had lost on the road trip.
And the Twins have had so much success here at Target Field, 36-22, and they're off to a good start so far here this afternoon.
It's 1-0 to Fielder. Drew a 2-out walk in the first inning. Fouled back. Santana pitching Fielder carefully in that first inning. Fielder 6 for 16 with 3 home runs and a couple of walks against Santana. 1-1. Rangers had a chance to score first. Got a leadoff single from Moreland, but he was left at third base. To center. Playable for Hicks. In fact, he hardly has to move. Inning over. 3 shutout innings for Irvin Santana.
NorthlandFord.com and your local Northland Ford dealer. And by Grand Casino. The best stories start here.
Twins lost the series to the Rangers in Texas 2-1, trying for a 3-game sweep. In advance of a 3-game series with the Cleveland Indians. Trevor Plouffe started the 4-run second inning with a home run into the second deck against Chichi Gonzalez.
Yeah, for Plouffe, his 16th home run of the year, measured that home run at 398 feet.
Inside, and it's 1-1. Rangers head home after the game. And the Twins will host the Indians, hoping to at least do to Cleveland what the Indians did to the Twins last weekend. Into right field, Chu jogs in, makes the catch, 1 away.
Yeah, Tampa Bay Rays go into Arlington and face the Rangers starting tomorrow.
Weekdays don't miss America's pregame as Mike and Molly bring you live reports from around the country for the latest from NFL training camps and get you ready for a full night of MLB action. Catch America's pregame every weekday at 4 p.m. Central on Fox Sports 1, streaming live on Fox Sports Go. 1 down in the third. Here's Rosario. Hit a soft line drive just out of the reach of Odor. Escobar did the same thing. And a couple of doubles followed, and the Twins had 4 runs on the board. In addition to the games we watch, the ones we announce being so much more interesting than they were by and large at any time in the last 4 years. An interesting dynamic. I experience it. I suspect Twins fans do too. You're suddenly interested in the other games that have an impact on the wild card race in the American League. If you're out of the picture at this time of the year, well, those games might be interesting to watch, but you're not paying that close attention as I was last night as the White Sox beat the Angels in extra innings. Because that game, the result of that game, impacts the Twins.
Yeah, Garcia got that big double that scored Abreu, I believe, for the winning run.
And that'll continue and intensify as the Twins hopefully prolong this wild card race.
Well, when former Bud Selig, the commissioner of baseball, said, former commissioner Bud Selig, that you know, when he put in an extra wild card, I think he thought about this here in the middle of August and then going into September. There's 2 spots that are available, not 1 but 2.
2-2 to Rosario, 1 down in the 3rd. Mr. Selig, love him or dislike him, he still is a great businessman, and the baseball paid attention when the Twins in back-to-back years played the riveting game 163, losing in Chicago and winning that classic epic game with the Tigers at the Metrodome the next year. Dribbled to the right side. And Gonzalez flips to first, 2 down. The Tiger Twins game 163 that resolved a playoff spot outdrew any of the postseason games that followed in terms of TV ratings. And baseball paid attention to that. If you add another wild card and in essence have game 163 in each league every year, well, you've got a pretty wonderful, riveting way to start your postseason. Here's Escobar. 1 strike. Paul Molitor said one of the things that was impressive last night, the Twins kept adding on, and that'll be the challenge here today after a 4-run second to try to keep the pressure on. The ball hit to center, and DeShields comes in and makes a correction out there, makes the catch, and Gonzalez recovers with a 1-2-3 third.
Sign or hereby circled. Look at that. Very nice.
Green Beltre will lead off. the fourth inning for the Rangers. It'll be the middle of the Texas lineup: Beltre, Moreland, and Andres.
Yeah, 49 pitches for Santana. Yet not a strikeout yet. A couple of walks. He's given up only one hit.
You know, on Tuesday night we got a nice visual exchange between Hunter and Beltre. Beltre cracks his back, gets a leadoff hit here in the fourth, when Beltre took a double away from Torrey Hunter. And it struck me at the time that Beltre and Hunter, in addition to being contemporaries, might be two of the most respected and liked players among their opponents in the game today. Torrey not playing today, and he's gone into a little bit of a skid here in August. But Beltre, very passionate of the game, but still finds a way to have fun. And I think those are some of the traits we see in Torrey as well.
Yeah, you have to produce to have fun. I mean, you can have fun but not produce, and then it's not that much fun. So, but if you're doing well, you just feel good about yourself. And Beltre, we talked last night, Dick, maybe a future Hall of Famer right there. A guy that has over 400 home runs, over 550 doubles. He's driven in over 1,400 runs.
Ken Griffey Jr. had it. Kirby Puckett had it. Just a respect among your peers that at a different level than the average run-of-the-mill ball player. Inside. And you have to do it. You have to get it done over an extended period of time. And in Beltre's case and in Hunter's case, they've done that.
They have, yes.
1-1 to Moreland. He singled and got as far as third base in the second inning. Tap foul. Not been a good night to be behind the plate. Herman took a foul ball off the mask. Tom Hallion took a pitch against his right big toe. Another pitch against his mask, and now that one looked like it got him on the right foot again. Is that a grimace or a smile behind that mask? One and two. Just missed the corner. 2-2. That's what happened 2 pitches ago to a guy who's already been dinged twice.
They have that shin guard that protects those legs, as the catchers do. We saw Gibson here a couple nights ago, ground ball pitcher. Pelfrey got ground ball pitcher. Both of them with 24 double plays behind them. Santana's had only 1 double play turn behind him. This is his 8th start.
And yet most of his outs today have come on ground balls. 2-2. An off-speed pitch misses. Full count. Well, suddenly a big pitch here to Moreland.
This is where you have to trust that sinker down and away, and hopefully get a ground ball out.
Keep an eye on Beltre. He stays put. The pitch high and deep to right field. And Rosario back, but it's well over his head and into the second deck. It's 4-2.
Well, Moreland, who was pretty quiet over the first couple ball games, picks up his 2nd hit, and this is his 17th home run. Got a 3-2 fastball that stayed up, and Santana hurt again by the home run. That's his 9th home run he has given up, and the 6th here at Target Field. This is his 3rd start here.
The Rangers have cut the Twins lead in half quickly here in the 4th inning. And now Elvis Andres.
Watch the location. He wanted it down but left up. And Moreland, who has the power to do exactly what he did.
Hicks drifts back. Andres retired 1 away. Time now for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag NorthDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Rougned Odor will bat. Odor with a bouncer to second, his first time up.
A 2-run home run by Moreland, measured at 405 feet.
ball one. Toronto leading Oakland 4-0 in the 6th. And the Blue Jays, like the Twins, caught a bit of a break today in terms of the opposing starting pitcher. This ball popped up, and Dozier in the outfield grass should put it away. 2 down. Cole Hamels was supposed to start for the Rangers today, and instead it is Gonzalez. Sonny Gray was supposed to go for Oakland, but he came up with some back issues and was scratched for Jesse Chavez. Twins and the Indians square off at Target Field this weekend. Friday night includes Friday night fireworks with music presented by Cool 108 and a special happy hour at Barrio from 4:30 to 5:30. Saturday, a DQ sensational Saturday. Sunday, a Super America Not Whole Kids Day. You can call 800-33-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com and get your tickets. 1 strike to Jimenez. Breaking ball over for strike 2.
What was nice about last night's ball game, no home runs were hit by the Rangers, the opposing team. And what had happened, the Twins have not played very well over the last, since the All-Star break. There were 16 straight games where the opposing team hit a home run. It's the first time that the opposing team did not hit a home run last night, and Marlin just hit a 2-run homer.
1-2. Popped up back and out of play. The Moreland home run hit earlier this inning, the 125th allowed by the Twins pitching staff. The Twins have hit 103, so there's still a bit of a gap.
Right.
But for most of the last 4 years, it was like a 2-to-1 split. The other guys had hit 2 home runs out of every 3 that were hit. And it's kind of hard to overcome that. 1-2. It's hit to right, hit fairly well, but Rosario circles back to the track and makes the catch on the edge of the outfield grass. Couple for the Rangers on Moreland's home run. Will lead off the Twins' 4th inning. Twins trying to make it a sweep over the Rangers. And Gonzalez at a 1-2-3 first, a 1-2-3 third. It's the 2nd inning you'd like to forget about.
Yeah, 6 game between these 2 ball clubs, and right now the Twins have the advantage. 3 wins to 2 losses to the Rangers.
Herman clubbed the first pitch he saw in the 2nd inning and drove a double to left center field, driving in a run. Offered at it, I think. Well, maybe not. Ball 1.
Well, Beltre playing off the line, playing back a little bit. Chris Herman thought about laying that ball down that third base line, then pulled the bat back.
And now 2-0. At the knees, 2-1. Herman, Robinson, and Hicks in the Twins' fourth. That's hit hard to left field, but right at Strasburger, he makes the catch. Herman hit that ball harder than he hit his double. One away. That'll bring up Robinson. Get a ball to the same spot on the field. He got an RBI double in the second. Robinson's given the Twins what they signed on for. 141 at bats, 255 batting average. Speedy extra outfielder, up and in, ball one.
You know, and this young man right here, 30 years old, he works hard too. He gets ready for every at bat that he can get here at the major league level. 5 different seasons with the Cardinals from 2009 to 2014. Last year with the Cardinals, played in 47 ball games.
And now 3-0.
Signed by the Twins over the winter.
Hicks will hit next. 5 in a row set down by Gonzalez. 4-pitch walk. Speedy Robinson is aboard here in the fourth.
Now, third walk for Gonzalez.
Back to the top of the order, and Aaron Hicks. 4 hits in his first 4 at bats last night. Finishing 4 for 5. Now today 0 for 2 with a couple of ground balls. What made the 4-hit game so impressive for Hicks, the 4 hits, all of them, came from the left side of the plate. He's been a better right-handed batter in his professional career than left, to the point where a year ago he briefly gave up switch hitting, but now, earlier he had a 3-hit game left-handed, now a 4-hit game last night. And all 4 balls were stung. The home run and the 3 singles were all hit sharply.
Twins would like to find a way to get those 2 runs back that the Rangers were able to put up in the 4th inning, top of the inning. Robinson at first base, 5 stolen bases in 6 attempts. Looks like Gonzalez utilizes that slide step toward home.
Popped up wide of third. Beltre tracking it in foul ground, and he makes the catch. Out number 2. That'll bring up Dozier. Dozier with a bouncer to third and a walk. 4-run second inning. See if Robinson takes off here. 5 for 6 in steals. Down and away, ball 1.
Again, you see Gonzalez pretty quick home. He does almost what Kyle Gibson does. He held that a little bit longer.
Dozier, an extra base hitting machine. Not just the home runs, but the doubles, and a double likely would score Robinson from first anyway. Throw over. Sometimes you might be reluctant to send the runner to keep the hole open on the right side of the infield, but Dozier's not much of a right field hitter.
Right.
Breaking ball hits the corner, 1-1.
Yeah, there's some pitchers that are like Gonzalez. I talked about Gibson that do a good job of holding on runners. Looks like Gonzalez does that.
Fox Tracks presented by Jeep. again away. It's 2-1. Dozier made the All-Star team by looking for pitches to pull and then pulling them with authority. What we've seen in the second half, teams regularly pitching him away. In fact, away off the plate.
Yeah. And if you're going to come in, you want to come in and miss inside the Dozier, and that opens up the outer part of the plate.
Pulled toward the hole. Andrus, close play, retires Robinson at second. The Twins are done in the fourth. On to the fifth. Twins up 4-2. Blues home run, starting a 4-run second inning, and now on to the fifth, and the ball drilled to left center field. Strasburger with a single. That's another leadoff hit for the Rangers. They're third in the last 4 innings.
Yeah, ball left up right there. Santana has not had a 1-2-3 inning yet. Strasburger getting just his second major league hit in 11 at bats. This is what we've seen, I think, from Santana over the last 3 outings, just having not good control of that, especially the fastball. A lot of pitches up.
The Shield bunts it against himself while he was in the box. 1 strike.
Even that breaking ball right there was about letter high.
The Shields uses a bunt as a hitting weapon. I don't know that it was necessarily a sacrifice attempt, but strike 1 nonetheless. Good bunt there, and Herman picks it up out of the grass and just barely got him at first.
Yeah, you got to hurry.
A sacrifice will be credited, even though DeShields might have been trying for a base hit there. Strasburger to second base. Chu with a fly to left and a walk. 2 nights ago, Kyle Gibson gave up 2 runs in the second inning and then didn't give up another run after that. Last night, Mike Pelfrey gave up a run in the 6th, came back and pitched a scoreless 7th, and that's the challenge now for Santana after the leadoff single here, and the Rangers scoring 2 in the 4th to put a 0 up here in the 5th. Popped up. And Santana waiting for somebody to take charge, and it's Plouffe in fair territory making the catch.
Trevor had to come a long way for that. Chris Herman thought about it, but Trevor Plouffe, I think right off the get-go, calling off Chris Herman and made the catch.
At what point in baseball did the attitude that we don't want the pitchers anywhere near a pop-up? When did that come into play?
I have no idea. Somebody must have dropped the ball early on, and they said, that's it. No more. Pitchers, get out of the way.
I mean, no one was closer to the ball than Santana, and all he had to do was run in about 45 feet, and he could have made it. But pitchers are just told to get out of the way. We don't want you involved. Run to the outfield as quickly as you can.
Yeah, I remember Jim Cott was won 16 Gold Gloves. A lot of times on a pop-up like that, he would find out who's calling and then go and basically put his arms around the guy that was near, other than the guy that called it off. You kind of push him away, like right there. Kitty Cott probably would have went to Chris Herman and gave him a bear hug, say, Trevor Plouffe's got this ball, get out of the way.
I would have imagined Jim waving everybody else off. Wow. I got it. It's a pop-up, for heaven's sakes.
I know.
2-0 to Fielder, runner at second. And Escobar sneaks in behind Strasburger. Driven hard to right field. And a long carom to Rosario. It's an RBI single for Fielder.
Another ball left up.
4-3 ball game now.
Fielder getting that pitch up and just hammering it off the wall in right field. Picking up his first hit. He came in leading the American League in hitting, and that high fastball right down the middle. Fielder, luckily that ball didn't tie the game. If he had just had that little bit more of an uppercut swing, because that ball got out to right field quickly. Fielder picking up his 68th RBI.
2-out hit by Fielder now, and it's a 1-run game. Beltre at the plate. Singleton scored his last time up. Big swing and a miss by Beltre, who lost his bat. You've seen Beltre just swing from his heels a couple times in this game.
He does have 5 career home runs against Santana. He was trying to make it number 6 right here.
As you've discussed, has had the thumb injury, right? 1 strike.
The left thumb.
Off the middle and through a base hit. Fielder will check in at second base. And the tying run now is at second base with 2 outs.
As a pitcher, you want to make an adjustment, and everything that Santana has thrown really over the last couple innings has been right there. Pretty much a lot of the plate, not the corners. Pretty much right down the middle. Second hit for Beltre.
Moreland with 2 hits, single and a 2-run home run.
Moreland hit it on the 3-2 fastball that they wanted in, and Santana left it about belt high away.
To right center and deep. Rosario chasing it. He'll play it off the wall. Fielder will score. They're going to wave Beltre around, and here's Dozier's throw to the plate. Not in time. The Rangers take the lead on 3 straight 2-out hits.
I think Brian Dozier had a little trouble getting that ball, and that ball had a little bit of a rainbow throw toward home plate, or maybe it would have been a close play at home. But again, Santana leaving a pitch up, and Neil Allen quickly on the phone out to the bullpen. But Moreland having quite an afternoon. Can see where that pitch is again, almost where he hit the home run. This time it's not out of the ballpark, but it's against the wall in right center.
You don't have to, as a hitter, I don't suppose, even try to elevate the ball when it's already pre-elevated. And now Andrus with a runner at second.
He hasn't made an adjustment. He hasn't tried to keep that ball down. There's another pitch that's right down the heart of the plate.
Rangers out hitting the Twins 7-5 and outscoring them now 5-4. Andrus 0 for 2. That's to left. And Robinson backpedals to finally end the inning. But the Rangers get 3 straight 2-out hits to score 3 runs and take a lead.
Minnesota State Lottery winner's circle, 100 scratch-off tickets for a dad who deserves it. Nick from Sauk Rapids, what a great idea for your son's birthday. You get him here, 2 of his best buddies from his baseball team. They bring their gloves, they got the sign, and now we're all going to get circled by a Hall of Famer, and you got these great seats. How much fun you having?
It's fantastic. It's such a great deal for his birthday. We're so excited to be here.
It's really what it's all about in the summer, right? Baseball, coming to the ballpark and celebrating with your kids and having a chance to watch from these seats, something he'll remember for a long time.
Can't pick a better week, for sure. This has been great.
All right, Bert, we're now looking for one more thing for the perfect birthday at the ballpark, and that's a Twins win. We had it where we wanted it, 4-0, but now we got to rally back.
Yeah, Twins are down by 1. Thank you, Kevin. Those gentlemen are hereby circled. And happy 9th birthday, young man.
A lot of people think Sauk Rapids is kind of a suburb of St. Cloud, when in fact it's a suburb of Dwelm and Glendorado, central Minnesota. If you're from St. Cloud, you think Sauk Rapids is a suburb of St. Cloud. If you're from Sauk Rapids, you think St. Cloud is a suburb of Sauk Rapids.
Which city is bigger?
St. Cloud, I think. Pretty sure of that. Bauer with a 1-1 count.
Well, Gonzalez finds himself with a 1-run lead now.
Fouled back, 1-2.
It's up to the Twins to get back into this ballgame. Santana really struggling over the last couple innings. Coughed up those 4 runs. Now the Rangers have a 1-run lead.
What happened to Mike Pelfrey in the road trip? He had an early 6-0 lead and couldn't protect it. Up the line, foul. 1-2 to Mauer. Important ball game for the Twins. They'd like to keep building some traction and then eventually some momentum. Mauer will be followed by Sano and Plouffe. One and 2. The Twins' designated hitter. Fouled back. Twins with 5 hits, and they all came in the second inning.
They all came in a row, right? Started with Trevor Plouffe's home run, and then 4 after that. Scored the 4 runs. 3 walks for Gonzalez, a couple strikeouts. Struck out Joe Mauer to end the first inning.
Poked foul.
Joe getting the afternoon off defensively. Designated hitter here this afternoon.
It probably has more to do with the Twins' desire to get Sano some time at third base than anything else. High fly to center. And DeShields back near the track. One down. Sano to the plate. And his manager pretty impressed with the watching Miguel Sano's at bats, belying the fact that he only has 114 of them.
We've talked about the positive attributes in terms of his game offensively, the patience he has thrown, strike zone knowledge. He kind of even seems to know when to take a shot. You know, he overswings at times, but it's kind of the exception. And then he steps out and regroups and puts together good at bats.
That's what the Twins will be looking for here. Sano made 2 of the 3 outs in the 4-run second inning.
Well, this young man, again, only 22 years old. He turned 22 in May. You know, a lot of home runs in the minor leagues, 105 in 5 minor league seasons. And with a lot of home runs, we've seen it from great home run hitters come a lot of strikeouts. 46 strikeouts and 114 at-bats. But when he makes contact, that ball can go a long way.
Our Soup.com trivia question: which 2 players hold the major league rookie record for RBI in a game?
Sano had 6 runs batted in last night.
Chance in the second at bat in the second inning to drive in some runs. Left the bases full with a tall fly ball to right field. 1-2 to Sano. And he got him. Fastball up and away, 2 down.
Sano striking out for the second time, and Gonzalez with his 3rd strikeout. High fastball. Ball kind of, I think it fooled Sano a little bit. Had a little extra giddy up on it. A little tardy.
Blue started the 4-run second inning with a home run to the second deck and left. Rangers took the lead with some 2-out hitting. We'll see if the Twins can do some of that here in the 5th. Strike on the outside corner. One and one.
Chichi Gonzalez making just his 8th major league start here this afternoon down in AAA Round Rock, the AAA affiliate for the Rangers. He had 13 starts. He won 5 ball games, an ERA just over 4.
Up high, 2-1. Santana struggling in the 4th and the 5th inning, and Kevin Jepson and Brian Dunsing are getting loose. Plouffe to left center field. Strasburger makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 fifth. And the Rangers carrying a lead now to the 6th inning.
Fox Sports North at the Minnesota State Fair, August 27th through Labor Day. You can meet on-air personalities, special guests, have your photo taken in their free photo booth, plus register to win tickets and more. Welcome by Grand Casino. They got the State Fair Classics here at Target Field. If you'd like more details, visit foxsportsnorth.com. Click on upcoming events. We never get a chance to do the fair, go to the fair much because we're busy. Well, some of us are. I suppose you'll be due for another vacation here pretty soon.
Yeah, I have one coming after we play the Rays on the road. Doing 100 games, I have to take some time off.
This one hit to right, and Rosario has to make a bit of an adjustment. One down. We're talking about it in the open. A year ago, Twins had Oswaldo Arcia in right field, and Danny Santana in center, and Jordan Schaefer in left on most days. This has been a rather dramatic transformation in the Twins outfield.
Oh, it's nice to see the versatility of Rosario. You know, when Torrey Hunter's out there, he'll play left field, and with Robinson in the ball game, he's out in right. So yeah, I mean, Rosario to me is a guy that could play center too if he needed him out there. But Hicks has done a great job out there.
Schaefer released. Santana sent to the minor leagues after struggling to play shortstop, and now on the disabled list at Rochester. And Arcia has really struggled all year long at Rochester.
Yeah, before Santana leaves here, because I don't know if they're hoping, I think, to get one more inning out of him. I'm wondering if he's going through that dead arm stage. You know, he didn't pitch. You know, yeah, he threw on the side in minor league games and stuff like that. But, you know, missing the 81st games for the Twins, he came and he pitched really his first 3 out of 4 starts were very good. But his last 3 plus this start has not been good. I'm wondering if he's going through that little bit of a dead arm stage. And there's a good breaking ball right there. Then he picks up his first strikeout. And Santana, a guy that came into the game in his career averaging over 7 strikeouts per 9 innings. Good hard breaking ball there.
Well, he's given the Twins 17 outs so far. They're going to try to get an 18th out from him. You know, from the layman's standpoint, I guess that's what I am. I didn't play. I didn't pitch. I don't know what that's like. You'd think he'd have the freshest arm in the world, not having pitched at all in the first 80 games.
Yeah, but you sit and you can work out all you want, but you can't take away mound time. Once you're out there, then you build up your arm like spring training. He had the 3 outings in Rochester and he pitched well. And it's not an excuse, but I have not seen Santana over the last 3 outings really have the stuff that the Twins were hoping that when they signed him, they got an ace. They got a guy that would go out there and be more consistent than he has shown.
Goes to short. Escobar picks it up. Fires across.
Maybe a quick inning. He can get one more out of it.
Twins trail by a run as we go to the bottom of the 6th.
Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by McDonald's, have bowl for breakfast with the new chorizo burrito from McDonald's.
Neil Allen talking to Irvin Santana as if his day might be done.
The best inning he had was his last inning. Only 9 pitches, a 1-2-3 inning.
The Twins down a run, and Eddie Rosario will lead things off. Eduardo Escobar, Chris Herman to follow. Facing Chichi Gonzalez. Rosario out in front of the off-speed pitch. Chips one to short right center field. To Shields with the catch and a quick first out.
You know, you have to credit Chichi by the bad inning he had in the second, but boy, he has shut the door since.
You can follow live Twins baseball every day with MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. Stay connected to the Twins all season with MLB.TV Game of the Day. In-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Quick out, and now Escobar. Two and 0. Twins don't have a hit since Robinson's double, the 5th straight hit in the second inning. Three and 0. Herman on deck.
Gonzalez with 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Came into the ball game walking more than he has struck out in his first 7 starts.
3 and 1. Ball 4 missed badly, and Escobar will go to first. And now Herman, who's hit 2 balls well to the opposite field, an RBI double in the second, and if anything, his 4th inning liner to Strasburger was hit even harder.
Mike Maddox looking out to the bullpen, making sure that they have a right-hander up. He's ready to come in if need be.
Outside ball 1, and Jimenez will go to the mound. Keona Kella warming up. Pitched here 2 nights ago. Statistically, the Twins haven't gotten much from their backup catcher. Herman struggled offensively. Eric Fryer struggled when he was here. But then Herman, when he's not catching, is also part of a bench that hasn't been very productive. The Twins have just 4 pinch hits this year. Herman has 1 of them, and half the runs batted in, or excuse me, both runs batted in. As a pinch hitter, the Twins have just 2 runs batted in from the bench, and Herman's got them both. 1 and 0. Throw to first.
Keeping an eye on Escobar, a couple stolen bases in 5 attempts. Saw Shane Robinson last inning, a couple innings ago. Didn't really get a good read, I don't think, from Gonzalez, who I think he does a good job, as I mentioned, holding on base runners.
Herman with a swing and a foul that peels the mask off of Jimenez. Jimenez gets rid of his sunglasses.
Shaking his head a little bit as the mask is hit off his face.
Hallion's had a pitch come off his mask, a pitch come off his right toe, foul ball off his right shin. Jimenez and Herman have had one come off the mask. 1-1 to the Twins catcher. Foul back 1-2. You know, since the Twins got their 5 hits, not just they haven't gotten any hits, there hasn't been much solid contact. Herman's liner to left's about the only well-hit ball since the second inning.
Yeah, Gonzalez has really settled down nicely, changed speeds well. Twins haven't really squared one up since.
Popped up. And Jimenez back to the screen. Has no play, just over the net.
I said it last night. That's an out in Oakland.
As much as you reference it, why don't you go to Oakland? Every year you take the Oakland series off. They could have built a new ballpark there and you'd be none the wiser.
The last couple of years when the Twins were out in Oakland, there was always the Hall of Fame weekend. I love Oakland.
1-2 to Herman. Call. The Twins haven't done anything since the second inning. Again, that's one thing Paul Molitor was really happy about last night. Inning after inning, scoring opportunities, and Twins took advantage of them.
Yeah, 90 pitches for Gonzalez, 50 strikes.
Got him down and in. A fastball for a strikeout, 2 down.
Strikeout number 4 for Gonzalez. Well, he went down and in, and Herman trying to maybe uppercut this pitch. Swings through it.
And now Robinson, an RBI double in the second, then he walked in the fourth. Pitch is low. Robinson trying to either drive the tying run in here in the 6th or set up Hicks for some heroics. He's on deck. Two and 0. Scoring the first 4 runs of the game, and they had a chance to put up an even bigger number with the bases full. Gonzalez got Sano to pop up to right field. The Twins haven't gotten a base hit since. And a strike, 2 and 1.
He went with that little cutter slider to get a strike.
Three and 1. Gonzalez walking 2 men in the second, man in the fourth. He's already walked one here in the 6th. See what Robinson gets on 3 and 1 and what he does with it. Ball 4. The tying run is at second.
And Jeff Bannister going to be making a pitching change here. 5 walks for Gonzalez, 4 strikeouts.
The Twins with the tying run at second, 2 down. Rangers took the lead with some 2-out hitting. They'd like to get one from Hicks when we come back. He'd love to get one here to tie the game.
Yeah, second time in his career he'd had a 4-hit night, and last night he led off the ball game in the bottom of the first with a home run for giving the Twins a 1-0 lead in the 11-1 ball game. In the third added a single, in the fourth added a single, and then in the fifth an RBI single. That's what the Twins would like to see right here. Maybe not the home run, but the RBI single. Kala coming in. He worked here a couple nights ago. Worked one shutout inning. He had a strikeout, 16 pitches, 11 strikes, making his 51st relief appearance.
Some speed on the bases. Escobar runs okay. Robinson runs very well. So try to get a hit to the outfield and at least get this game tied up. Side, and Jimenez keeps it in the dirt. Ball one. Hicks with a bouncer to short, bouncer to first, and a foul out to Beltre. Last night clobbered a home run off the facing of the second deck in right center. Popped up, back and out of play.
Keller with a very good fastball at 98 miles an hour. Just 22 years old, signed by the Rangers a couple years ago in 2012.
One and one. Very high at 98. In terms of location and velocity, it was up there. Two and one to Aaron Hicks.
Look for a fastball down.
High. It's 3-1 with Dozier on deck. This rally, if you want to call it that, has been built around 2 walks. Now Kella in danger of issuing one to Hicks.
Kella has given up 4 home runs in 50 relief appearances.
And roughly 1 hit per inning pitched. 3-1 to the Twin center fielder. Popped up, back and out of play. 3-2, and the runners will get an early start.
The only reason I said get that ball down, because that high fastball at 98, that's hard to get on top of that ball and hit it sharply somewhere.
I think we've seen that twice in this at bat. Hicks has gotten high fastballs and he's fouled them both back,
especially when they're upper 90s. Hard to get that barrel of the bat out quickly.
Escobar will leave early from second, Robinson from first. 3-2 to Hicks. On the ground, foul. Hicks got on top of one and beat it up the line. Foul.
Yeah, Moreland was guarding the line, so Escobar and Robinson will go back to their bases and take off again on a 3-2 pitch.
Blue Jays won again, 11 in a row. They beat Oakland. Mark Burley with the win. And the Blue Jays caught a bit of a break, although I'm not sure it matters who starts against them anymore. But Sonny Gray was scratched before the game with some back tightness. Hicks digs in again on 3-2. Up the middle, it'll bleed through for a hit. Escobar scores. Robinson to third. They're going to wave him around. Here's a throw to the plate, and Robinson is out at the plate. And Robinson doesn't believe he was tagged. We might have a repeat of the play in the second inning. The Twins tie it up on the ground ball. And now we'll see whether the Twins challenge this call. Robinson lunged back to the plate as if he wasn't tagged. And he might be right.
Let's take another look right there. Does he get? Oh, he may have missed him again, like he did Rosario.
It's an RBI single to tie the game. Robinson with a little bit of a misstep approaching second because of the ground ball coming through. Boy, the original call, as you see, Tom Hallion made the out call. We're in the 6th inning when now the Twins are going to not challenge it. Yep.
But the game is tied.
Hicks getting an RBI single, and it's 5 apiece. Has resulted in an out at the plate. We've seen the Twins steal some extra runs with the third base coach running the runners very aggressively.
Well, you got Robinson with that speed. Remember, it's a 3-2 pitch to Hicks, and then the tag right there looked like maybe he got the buttocks area of Robinson, but almost what Rosario was able to do. But Aaron Hicks, RBI single, ties it at 5 apiece. You know what, against Kayla, you know, every pitch was up, and I said, get the ball down. He finally got one down and lined it right back up the middle for the RBI single.
And now Santana, who we thought was being taken out of the game, is out there to start the 7th inning. Ball 1, ball 2 to DeShields.
I think we just saw Neil Allen, you know, just talking to him, get him refocused, and he had a very good 6th inning. And the pitch count right now at 89 pitches.
Shields is a guy who uses the base on balls as part of his attack. 3-0, and now a strike 3 and 1. Santana gave up 2 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th. Had a quick 6th inning, and the Twins sent him back out there. Shin-Soo Choo on deck. Popped up, back and out of play.
A guy you want to keep off the bases. Twins able to do that in his first 3 at bats. DeShields' outstanding speed. Just like his dad had. Lionel DeShields Sr.
Full count. And DeShields drives one to right field. Oh, what a lucky bounce or catch by Rosario with DeShields' speed. If that ball had gotten by the right fielder, DeShields would have been standing at least at third base. It's a single, another leadoff hit for the Rangers.
Oh, he fell behind 3-1, 3-2. Got a fastball. DeShields picks up a hit, and Paul Molitor coming out. And we Saw Rosario right there. Open glove. That helped right there. Get that ball in the glove to keep Shields only at first.
So Santana starts the 7th, but gives up another leadoff hit and then leaves. Jesse, congratulations. I'm sure there were some anxious moments there. Thought you had the win, and then they send him out there.
Yeah, a little teeter-totter here. The Twins took an early 4-0 lead thanks to 5 straight hits, highlighted by Trevor Plouffe's single or home run, but a couple RBI doubles gave the Twins a 4-0 lead. Great slide by Rosario. But it's Mitch Moreland here this afternoon for the Rangers, having quite an afternoon. 2-run home run in the 4th, a 2-run double in the 5th. That gave the Rangers a 5-4 lead, but then Aaron Hicks, with runners on, a base hit up the middle, that tied it with Escobar, and Robinson just getting tagged out. So we're all knotted up here in the top of the 7th inning. And it's Brian Dunsing coming out of the bullpen, making his 41st relief appearance.
Facing Shin-Soo Choo. Sano in on the edge of the grass at third base. And a bouncer to right, a base hit. The Shields around second. He'll try for third. Rosario's throw. They got him. What a throw by Rosario. What a throw from Eddie Rosario to gun down to Shields.
We saw it in yesterday's ball game in left field. Get a runner through Choo out at home plate. And here he comes charging in and showing off that great arm that he has, and throws a strike to Sano in the air, getting the speedy to Shields. The quick tag, and yep, he got him on the calf area.
Right there.
And the foot before DeShields could get to the bag. Great throw by Eddie Rosario.
And now Fielder. No mystery here. These two veterans have faced each other many times. In fact, Shin-Soo Choo now has 31 at bats against Dunsing and 9 hits. Fielder 4 for 12 against him. My goodness. What a throw. And with such a low trajectory, Choo had to stay at first base. And as we have seen Rosario both on fly balls and on hits, plays it very aggressively, charging the ball to make the throw shorter.
Well, we saw it last night in the 6th inning. Remember, Choo tried to score, and it was a low throw, one hopper to Suzuki to tag out Choo at home.
2-0 now to Fielder. Rolled to short. How many can they get?
Turn it.
1. A double play. And Dunsing faces 2 men, gives up a hit, but faces just 3 men, or 2 men, to get the 3 outs.
About the magic at Target Field, the comebacks, the walk-off wins, and the good vibe that these guys have when they play here. And there's something to it. He says, number one, the crowd's been great all year long. They've really appreciated the way we've been playing. They've been sticking around and sticking with us through the ups and downs of the season, and we feel really like at this ballpark we have an advantage, and they know how to play this ballpark. Brian Dozier talked about it, and it's in their heads, guys. There is something to it. And we'll see if they can use that great defensive magic from the top of the inning to get some offense going here in the bottom in their favorite stadium to play in.
And Brian Dozier's been a big part of the home heroics.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin.
Dozier 0 for 2, drew a walk in the second inning. Facing Keller. Inside and swing and a miss, 1-1. Dozier, Mauer, and Sano. Twins tying it up with a 2-out hit off the bat of Aaron Hicks. You know, and it's amazing how this game can turn on you both with good fortune or bad fortune. On the road trip, the Twins didn't make any plays. There weren't 2-out hits. There weren't throws from the outfield to gun down runners. Nothing, it seemed, good happened to the team. Now you come home, you win a couple of ball games, and suddenly a guy in left field throws out a runner, and then you move him to right field and he throws out a runner. Hicks hits a roller up the middle for a game-tying hit. Plays are being made. There's a 2-hopper hit right at Andres. 1 down.
Well, it's not saying that you're going to win every game at home, which the Twins have not, but you come in with that positive thought. You can't beat the power of positive thinking.
I'm positive that we promised earlier in the game that we would select a Data Strong fan photo of the game. You can tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag North Data Strong Fan for a chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast. There's today's strong fan photo of the game.
Yeah, thank you, Nate.
1 down. Here's Mauer. A walk, a strikeout, a fly ball. Up and away, ball 1. Twins had a 4-0 lead. Rangers had a 5-4 lead. At the knees, a strike, 1-1. Rangers entered this series just barely, but nonetheless ahead of the Twins in the wild card standings. Twins, having won the first 2 games of the series, now have the lead on the Rangers. Inside, 2-1.
And that's where Jimenez was sitting inside, so trying to pitch that fastball in on Joe. Joe has 7 home runs, 4 of them hit here at Target Field. Last home run coming in Cleveland against Trevor Bauer, when Bauer ended up getting a lot of run support. He did give up 3 home runs in that ball game, but he won 17-4.
That's to left.
Get down.
And a base hit from Mauer. A 1-out single. And then he gets Sano to the plate with a man aboard.
Joe picking up his first hit. The 7th hit for the Twins here this afternoon.
Very often I'm clueless, including with this trivia question. I honestly don't know the rookie record.
Bobby Darwin?
Well, this is a major league record.
Oh, major league.
Freddie Lynn with 10 of them in his rookie season. He was the rookie of the year and the MVP that year. Someone named Norm Zokin, whom I've never heard of.
I don't think I faced him. 1955, just before me.
Here is Sano. He has struck out twice and hit a fly ball to right. Last night he drove in 6 runs, drove in a big one to tie the game the night before. And a breaking ball, a strike. What has impressed Paul Molitor is Sano's willingness, ability to adapt to the count within the at bat. He struck out an awful lot, but he gives the Twins a competitive at bat, looking for something. Doesn't try to do too much.
Well, he's that threat, in that number 4 spot. That's what you want. You want the guy that, you make a mistake, boy, he's going to maybe give you the lead.
1-1. And I think he already knows that he doesn't have to pull the ball to hit a home run. And once a hitter gets to that point, keeps them from falling into a lot of bad habits. Sometimes you might worry about a young 22-year-old hitter hitting 2 home runs in 1 game. A high fly, center field. DeShields back, making the catch on the edge of the track. Bauer will try to advance, and he will reach.
Good heads-up baseball right there by Joe Mauer, because that ball was hit 400 feet away. And Joe at first base, waiting for that ball to come down into the glove of DeShields, and he scooted into scoring position. So Sano gave it a ride, allowed Joe Mauer to tag up and get to second base.
And now Plouffe homered to start the 4-run second inning. Twins got a 2-out hit in the 6th to tie the game. Now looking for one in the 7th to retake the lead. Down low, ball 1.
Remember, it's Cole Hamels that was supposed to start this ball game. He skipping this start with a groin injury.
Fouled away, 1-1. Diekman warming up. It'd be for Rosario in the event he hits later in this 7th inning. 1-1. Grounder to Andrus, backhands it. And on target to first. Twins get Mauer to second base, leave him there. We head to the 8th inning, tied at 5.
tomorrow, opening a 3-game weekend series against Cleveland. Our coverage starts with Twins Live at 6:30, immediately followed by Game 1 of the Twins and Indians series. Twins and Tribe together for the second consecutive weekend starting tomorrow on Fox Sports North.
As we said when we were in Cleveland, well, some of us said it because some of us weren't in Cleveland, but at that time,
ouch, that hurt.
At that time, about 1 out of every 4 games the Twins had left on the schedule were going to be against the Indians. The series in Cleveland and now 3 here in Minnesota. Twins would like to go into that series with a series sweep. Casey Fiend hoping to pitch a scoreless 8th inning.
Yeah, Casey Fiend worked here on Tuesday night, 2/3 of an inning, retired to 2 batters he faced in the 7th inning. He faced, I believe, Jimenez, and then he able to get out the Shields, and then Ryan O'Rourke came in to get the final out. So Fiend making his 40th relief appearance.
Beltre, Moreland, and Andrus will hit. Beltre's had a couple of hits and a couple of runs scored today. Swing and a miss. Boy, Beltre has really been taking some
healthy cuts.
Healthy cuts. Yes, he has.
Little cutter right there by Fiend. And Beltre swinging through it.
1 strike. And now a ball. Urban Santana gave the Twins 6 innings, 5 earned runs allowed. Not a good day for Santana again. 1-1.
Another good cutter. Another big swing. And Fiend ahead in the count.
Important to get Beltre because the on-deck hitter Moreland has driven in 4 of the 5 Texas runs. Headed back over our heads.
A lot of things over our heads.
Isn't there much that's beneath us, though?
Yeah, that one left up a little bit, and Beltre got a pretty good swing but fouled it off.
1-2 to the leadoff man here in the 8th.
Is he shaking off? Going back to the cutter, down and away.
Lace to left, and Robinson plays it on a hop. Beltre has his 3rd straight hit and another leadoff hit for Texas.
And a pitch that was pretty much right down the middle.
5th leadoff hit for the Rangers this afternoon. You can join Fox Sports North and the Minnesota Wild for the breakaway 10K, 5K, and 1-mile run on Saturday, September 19th, benefiting the Minnesota Wild Foundation. All participants receive a t-shirt and are qualified to win 2 sweet tickets for the Wild Oilers game Saturday, September 26th. For more info, visit foxsportsnorth.com. Click on upcoming events on the Hot Topics bar for details. Here's Moreland. 3 hits, 2 extra base hits, 4 runs batted in, and a run scored. Got a double play to get off the field in the 7th. See what Fiend can do here to a dangerous hitter.
Well, Casey this is his 40th relief appearance. There's yet to have a double play turn behind him.
A strike, 1-1.
But this would be a good spot. Fiend throws strikes, only 3 walks in 39 innings coming into this outing. 22 strikeouts.
Just outside, 2-1. Fiend will have to come to Moreland now. Fox Tracks presented by Carrier. And a base hit to right. Beltre around second. He'll go to third. Rosario's throw coming through. And Rangers start the 8th inning with a pair of hits.
Oh, quite an afternoon for Mitch Moreland, picking up his 4th hit. Puts runners at the corners with nobody out.
I think what we've seen both in the last road trip and early on in this homestand, the importance of the count. You can really pitch yourself into a bad situation even without walking somebody, but you put a hitter into an aggressive situation. We saw it in the Sano at bats last night and even the night before, the double that tied the game when Sano knew a fastball was coming. Let's have the infield in now. Andrus, the batter. Swing and a miss. Andrus with a Beltre type of swing. Andrus 422 at bats, 64 strikeouts.
The 4 hits by Moreland here tonight, a career high.
Fouled back with Fiend leaving a pitch up again.
Fiend needs a strikeout here.
Andrus will strike out about once every 7 times. Oh, 0-2. Very high, and he wouldn't chase. Out hitting the Twins 11-7.
Seen that slider down and away, get a strikeout, and did he go too far?
Nope. Paul Schreiber said he checked. 2-2.
Andrus holding up.
Yep. His left pitch is up here, belt or higher. Get that pitch down around the knees. Two and
the strikeouts that Fiend has been able to get is that good cutter down and away. Watch Herman behind the plate. That's still a little flat.
Andrus flicks it foul.
Need that little cutter that goes north to south rather than east to west. Because of that east to west, it kind of flattens out. You want that little bite one that has a little spin on it. Maybe Andrus will chase it.
How about northeast to southwest? Somewhere's in the middle.
Somewhere
there.
in the middle there. Just not down the middle.
And 95, but off the plate. It's a full count. He's already thrown 15 pitches, and normally he's off the field after about 9 or 10. But he's still looking for his first out. Odor on deck. Runner goes, and the pitch popped up center field. Hicks has got a good arm. He's backpedaling. Now will charge. There's the catch.
Yep.
And the throw coming to second base, or in the vicinity of second base. Beltre scores, and the Rangers are back in front.
Andrus picking up an RBI, his 42nd. The ball just hit too deep to allow Aaron Hicks to show off that good arm. As Beltre scores for the 3rd time in the ballgame.
And now Odor. Odor 0 for 3. Lined out to Rosario his last time up. It's lifted to left. We'll carry to Robinson for out number 2. Get us quickly to Chris Jimenez. Jimenez 0 for 3. Toronto beating Oakland 4-2, their 11th straight win, and it's their second 11-game winning streak.
They got a lot of mojo going on.
Yes,
in Toronto.
they do, and they got the Yankees coming in for 3 games starting tomorrow night. And you can't buy a ticket anymore, at least not through the ticket window. Jimenez with a foul, 1 strike. Bounced foul. 0-2. Important for the Twins to do well in this homestand because they've got a tough grind on the road coming up. Of the next 25 are on the road. Most of those road games against teams that are playoff bound or contending for a wild card spot. 2 strikes to Jimenez. That's to right field. Harmlessly toward Rosario. Rangers get a couple of hits to start the 8th. Push a run across to retake the lead. Find more than one way to help you win a ball game like Eddie Rosario.
And last night's ball game in the 6th inning, Beltre got a base hit and then a strong throw getting Chu at home. That ended the threat for the Rangers. And then here this afternoon, Rosario with a Chu base hit ends up throwing a strike to Sano and gets the speedy DeShields trying to go from 1st to 3rd.
Now Rosario will try to help the Twins win a ball game with his bat. Down a run, he'll lead off the 8th inning. Jake Diekman into the ball game here 2 nights ago. He's a hard-throwing left-hander.
Yeah, big sweeping breaking ball to go with that 97-mile-an-hour plus fastball. Making just his 8th relief appearance. He came over from the Phillies in Nicole Hamill's trade.
Rosario, Escobar, and Herman. A lefty, a switch hitter, and a lefty. At the knees, 1-1. Rosario with a single to right and a run scored in the second. Since then, a comebacker to the mound and a fly to center. He's foul, 1-2.
Diekman, 28 years old. He almost has that Chris Sale type sidearm of delivery. Big sweeping breaking ball, overpowering fastball. 6'4", 205. 3+ years with the Phillies. 173 1/3 innings pitched for the Phillies. 226 strikeouts.
Oh, hit him in the back. And Diekman recovers and gets the out. A wicked line drive against the pitcher. Rosario retired for the first out.
Well, Rosario hit this ball right back up the middle. They'll took a look at Diekman, see where that ball hit him, but watch Diekman turn right here. I don't think it hit his left hand. May have hit him in the buttocks area.
Back pocket, I think.
Whew. Yep. Ouch.
Well, Diekman was able to recover and get Rosario at first for the first out.
You know, they used to have that spray that trainers would come out with. I don't know if they want to spray that.
Nor do I think Diekman wants it sprayed. First pitch. He threw. Sailed on the fly to the backstop. So Mike Maddox is going to get behind the pitcher and see if he's going to be able to throw strikes. Diekman, I guess, is going to be okay. The Twins got a well-hit ball here to lead off the 8th inning. Diekman was able to get the out, and now Escobar. Tom Hallion waving off a trip to the mound. It was the trainer and the manager and the pitching coach, and it was all for medical reasons.
You know, a lot of times guys will get hit in certain spots, and the next day you say, boy, where'd that ball hit you? I don't think anybody's going to ask him to look at the bruise.
I know I won't. Ball 1. Escobar with 2 runs scored. He singled and scored in the second, walked and scored in the 6th. High, 2-0.
Yeah, Escobar's a right-handed hitter, hitting 200.
4 home runs on the year, 2 from each side of the plate. Two-0. Fouled away. Twins had a 4-0 lead after the second inning. The Rangers had a 5-4 lead, now a 6-5 lead. Ball fouled back as well, 2-2. Dustin Morse, the Twins media relations director.
Did he catch
making a catch? Yes, he did. It was a clean catch.
Nice. And I just saw him toss the ball to a young fan. Very nice, Dustin.
2-2. Yeah, thumbs up. We got it. Tapper left side. Easy play for Andrus. 2 down. And let's go to Kevin Gord.
Yeah, stay with us after the game. Fans for Twins Live presented by CenturyLink. It's been a topsy-turvy game that saw the Rangers rally back from a 4-0 deficit. We'll show you some great play by the outfield of the Minnesota Twins. We'll take you inside the clubhouse and let you hear from Paul Molitor. He'll wrap up this series and preview the series with the Cleveland Indians. 4 pressures outs. There's been a lot of magic in this ballpark, guys. And the Twins do it one more time.
And let's see if Torrey Hunter can do it. Thank you very much, Kevin. We need some magic.
Torrey provided some on the road in Cleveland with a late inning home run. Now with 2 outs, Hunter will pinch hit. And Suzuki will catch the balance of the game.
Now Torrey with 18 home runs on the year. He's driven in 60.
Up and away, ball 1. Again, the Twins bench has been so incredibly unproductive. 4 hits, 39 at bats, and only 2 runs batted in. Popped up foul out of play, 1-1. That defies. I mean, you pinch hit for a reason, because you got a guy on the bench you think is better than the guy you're supposed to hit. And the Twins pinch hitters are hitting about 100, and in 40 at bats, only Herman's 2-run triple back in April is driven in a run. And fouled off a foot to Beltre. 1-2. And Hunter may be answering the question, if he does get on base, will Eduardo Nunez run for him? Probably would do that anyway, but Hunter taking a little extra time here.
And Jimenez respecting Torrey Hunter, I think, going out and talking to his left-hander, give Torrey a little more time to get the ouch out of that foot.
Hunter 0 for 3 as a pinch hitter, and this will be a memorable pinch hitting appearance because of this. Right on top of the foot.
See, you have that pad to protect that shin area, but nothing right on top of the foot.
1-2 to Hunter, facing Diekman. Now Hunter trying to run to beat the throw from Andrus, but the throw beats him, and it's a 1-2-3/8 for Diekman. Rangers lead it 6-5. We go to the 9th inning. Kevin Jepsen will make a relief appearance for the Twins, and Jepsen's acquisition by the Twins just became more important because the Twins announced today that because Phil Hughes has been sent to the disabled list, or will be, Trevor May is going to come out of this role that he'd filled so well to make a couple of starts, and so that does create a bit of a vacuum in this 8th, 9th inning setup utility role out of the bullpen. Jepson's going to have to fill it. Suzuki catching. And Jepson will face Strasburger, DeShields, and Chu.
Yeah, Jepson making his 6th relief appearance. He worked here on Tuesday night, 2/3 of an inning. Retired to 2 batters he was asked to get.
And that's what they want to see from Jepson. That pitch, 94, down and away on the black. That's the pitcher they acquired to help them here down the stretch. Fall back, left up at 94. And of course, one of the ironies is the team they acquired Jepson from is very much in the wild card hunt themselves, the Tampa Bay Rays. A half game ahead of the Twins in the wild card standings. 2 strikes. Bounce to Sano, backpedals, sets and fires. Man, that arm's going to come in handy. He had the luxury of knowing his arm strength and playing for the second hop and getting the out. What's next brought to you by CenturyLink in the opener against the Cleveland Indians. It'll be Corey Kluber, who stuck it to the Twins Sunday in Cleveland, and Trevor May will be limited to about 50 pitches, however long that gets him into the game.
And then Duffy making his 2nd appearance, hoping it's better than the one he had in Toronto. And then Tommy Malone coming off the disabled list work Sunday.
See the Indians Saturday bringing up Mike Tomlin. And it's his first appearance of the year. They're trying to patch their rotation together as well. 1-0 to Delino DeShields. Off the plate, 2-0. Chu on deck.
The Twins traded a couple minor league pitchers to get Jepson on July 31st from the Rays. Jepson's career really started with the Angels back in 2008 to 2014. His first season with the Rays.
Over for a strike. Three and 1 to Delino DeShields. Pulled foul.
Just watching DeShields reminds me a little bit of Shannon Stewart. When Shannon Stewart was with Toronto and then he became a Twin. Guy that's a good leadoff hitter. This guy's a Rule 5 player, and he's fit in nicely in that lineup for the Rangers. Hitting at .266.
Full count. Every team has dealt with underperforming prospects. Twins have gone through spells of that as well, but every once in a while an organization will get a DeShields who so clearly outperforms any hopes that the team had. They were expecting him to be a utility outfielder, a Shane Robinson type, never imagining that he'd take over center field full time. 3 and 2 from Jepson. Another foul back. Jepson keeps pitching him upstairs and getting foul balls. Ten pitches, 7 strikes for Jepson. Wanting to throw another one here with 1 out in the 9th. Popped up. And again, Jepson just points a finger in the air and lets somebody else catch it. 2 down. You can, as pitchers, you can legally catch a pop-up.
Yes, you can. I believe so. Yeah, I don't believe there's a rule against it. And Paul Molitor's coming out with Chu coming up. Ryan O'Rourke has been warming up in the bullpen.
5th pitcher of the game for the Twins. Chu's really struggled against lefties, so this move makes all the sense in the world with Jepson getting out the 2 right-handed batters. Now O'Rourke will try to get out the lefty. Series. And you look at the wild card race and the importance of this game. The Twins could conceivably be just a game out of a playoff spot if they take care of business and win here today. And the Angels lose in Kansas City. The Angels struggling. They've lost 9 road games in a row. Now they've got 4 tough ones in a row in Kansas City.
Anytime you go into a series, you're thinking, boy, we'd like to sweep them, but sweeps are hard to come by, you know. And if you can, we talked a little bit about last night, Dick, if you can win 2 of 3, and you know the Twins right now would like to come back and sweep the Rangers, but the last time they did that was September of 2010 here. Here's Ryan O'Rourke. He's asked to get Chu out for the 2nd time. He faced him here on Tuesday night, faced a couple batters. First one he did face was Chu, and he struck him out. O'Rourke making his 17th relief appearance.
Down and in, ball 1.
O'Rourke has done a good job since he has been called up. 13 innings pitched, 8 walks, 2 intentional with 17 strikeouts.
1-1. 1-2.
Only blemish really that outing in Cleveland last Saturday where he walked 3 and ended up when Boyer came in and gave up the grand slam, all 3 runs scored.
Sano swings over to the right side of the infield, and there's ball 2.
Seen a lot of sliders from O'Rourke. That's his strikeout pitch to lefties. And it's a good one, down and away. Oh, that completely fooled him. That started inside and worked over the plate.
A 1-2-3 top of the 9th. the ninth against the Texas closer, who's been very good this year, Sean Tolleson, with the 20 saves in 21 tries.
Yeah, very good earned run average last year. Mainly a setup man out of the bullpen for the Rangers in his first year. A guy that basically spent his whole career, minor league career, in the Dodger organization and was claimed off waivers by the Rangers from the Dodgers back in November of 2013. Now the closer for the Rangers.
Shane Robinson will lead things off, then Hicks and Dozier. Tuesday night, the Twins got a couple of runs in the 8th to tie it and won it in the 9th on Escobar's double that scored Suzuki. Robinson's reached all 3 times. An RBI double in the 2nd and a pair of walks. Strike on the outside corner.
Tolleson, 27 years old, born in Dallas, Texas. Signed by the Dodgers in 2010 out of Baylor University, out of Waco, Texas. So a Texan all the way. Still makes his home in Allen, Texas.
1-1. You look at his stat line and nothing really to look forward to. 228 opponent batting average, 6 home runs in over 50 innings, just 12 walks, 5 of those intentional. So if the Twins are going to come back, they're going to have to hit their way through a rally here in the 9th inning. At least you would expect so. Just 7 unintentional walks in 50 in a 3rd inning.
Yeah, basically a fastball, low 90s, slider, changeup, little cut fastball he's coming up with. Type pitcher.
2-1. Popped up. It's a foul ball in the seats. 2-2. Tolleson has pitched just once in the last 8 days. He had a stretch of 6 appearances in 7 days. And Jeff Bannister used him for 2 innings, and he threw 48 pitches a few days ago. 2-2. Driven to the right field corner, foul.
Twins can get Speedy Robinson on the base.
And foul back over the Twins dugout.
Fastball at 94.
Twins with 6 walk-off wins on the season, looking for number 7. Another foul pop. Again, back in the seats. Scored 4 runs on 5 straight hits back in the 2nd inning. They have just 2 hits since. The Rangers got a couple in the 4th, 3 in the 5th, and the go-ahead run in the 8th. That's to center, but the center fielder to Shields shifted into right center. He makes the catch, 1 away. And that'll bring up Hicks.
Well, Hicks got the big RBI single in the 6th inning that tied the game at 5 apiece. The Rangers went ahead in the top of the 8th to take a 6-5 lead.
Hicks with an RBI single. 4 trips, 4 hits last night, trying to get aboard. Dozier will follow. Then the Twins would love to get Mauer, Sano up to the plate here in the 9th. Fouled back, a strike. Hoping for a Twins comeback. Popped up left center field. Coming in Strasburger, he makes the catch with the shield sliding behind him. Twins are down to their last out. And I can't imagine they'd want anybody up there under these circumstances than Brian Dozier.
Brian Dozier, a couple walk-off home runs. And the Twins have had some magic here at Target Field. He's going to come out. This one's going to happen with 2 outs here for Brian.
Was the game tying home run. The Twins need a good at bat here to extend the game. Mauer in the on deck circle. Off the plate, ball 1. Over 3 with a walk today. The outside corner. For a couple of years, the Rangers had Joe Nathan as their closer. One and one. Out in front with the off-speed pitch, and it's 1-2.
Good changeup right there. Took something off, and Brian swinging through it.
That was already through the hitting zone before the ball got to the front edge of the plate. 1-2. High fly center field. And the Shields ranges over. And he makes the catch. And this season series is split 3 wins apiece, with the Rangers coming back from an early deficit to win the series finale.
Well, Twins had a 4-0 lead and ended up losing